Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriya Nashtaprayeshu Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloka Bhakti Bhavati Neshtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 12, the expansions of Advaita Acharya and Gadadhar Pandit, text 42 onwards. Ye danda paila Shri Sachi Bhagyavati, Se danda prasada anya loka pabekati. A similar punishment was awarded to Mother Shachi Devi. Who could be more fortunate than she to receive such punishment? Mother Shachi Devi was similarly punished as mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavad Madhya Khanda, chapter 22. Mother Shachi Devi, apparently showing her feminine nature, accused Advaita Acharya of encouraging her son to become a sannyasi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking this accusation as an offense, asked Shachi Devi to touch the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya to mitigate the offense she had supposedly committed. So what was this offense? So before Nimai was born, his parents, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, first they had 8 daughters. And they all died, either as soon as they were born or very young, they died. Then they had a son, and whom they named Vishwarup. Very, very intelligent son, intelligent boy, and very gentleman. Everybody loved him. And then after a few years, Nimai was born. So Vishwarup, from the very beginning, he would only go in the association of Vaishnavas. As I said, Shrivas Angan, Shrivas Angan was not too far from Yog Peeth, where Shachimata Jagannath Mishra they used to live. And also Advaita Acharya, although he had one house in Shantipur and another house in Navadvip. So at his house, Advaita Acharya's house, there used to be a regular assembly of Vaishnavas, and they would sit down, do kirtan and do Krishna Katha. And Vishwarup would just always used to go there, sit among the Vaishnavas. And one day he heard his father, Jagannath Mishra and mother, they were discussing about to get Vishwarup married. And Vishwarup was not at all interested in getting married. So in the middle of the night, he just left home and went away, left a note that I'm going away, I don't want to get married. So that disturbed Jagannath Mishra and Shachimata a lot. They were very, very disturbed. And then Nimai was very little. And they thought that because Vishwarup had studied so much, not they, Jagannath Mishra thought that way, that Vishwarup had studied so much, he was a scholar, and that's why he developed this renunciation attitude. So they said, okay, Nimai, you're not going to go to school from him. But that was another part of the story. So coming to the main part, Shachi Devi, she was very upset with Advaita Acharya, that because she thought because of his association and influence, Vishwarup developed the mood of renunciation and he left house and didn't want to get married. So in her mind only she thought, she did not say it to anybody, in her mind only she thought, this Advaita, actually his name should not be Advaita. Advaita means one, no duality. His name should be Advaita because he separated a son from his mother. And then she did not say anything. She did not reveal it to anybody. And she was kept quiet. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So When Mahaprakash Lila happened, when Mahaprabhu performed his Mahaprakash Lila, and he was giving Krishna Prem to everybody and anybody, and people were coming, besides all the devotees and regular people. Oh, oh Mahaprabhu, my father is not a devotee, please bless him so he becomes a devotee and he gets Krishna Prem. Yes, so be it. My son is not a devotee, my brother is not a devotee. And Mahaprabhu was giving Krishna Prem to everybody. And devotees asked, Mahaprabhu, what about Sachi Mata? You haven't given her Krishna Prem. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, she has committed offense, grave offense, Vaishnava offense against Advaita Acharya. She will never get Krishna. And there were devotees said, she's your mother, she is mother of the universe. How can she not get Krishna Prem? The only way for her to get Krishna Prem is to beg often, beg for mercy, forgiveness from Advaita Acharya. And nobody knew what offense she had committed. So they told Advaita Acharya. They brought Advaita Acharya to Shachi Mata's house. They told Advaita Acharya that this is what is happening, and Mahaprabhu said she will not get she will not get Krishna Prem till you forgive her. So please forgive her. And Advaita Acharya, me forgiving Shachi Mata? She's mother of my Lord. How can you even think that she can commit offense against me? There's no way. And speaking and glorifying Shachi Mata like that, Advaita Acharya went into ecstasy and became unconscious. And Shachi Mata quickly went to her and took dust from his lotus feet, put it on her head, and then she was forgiven by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The point is, Mahaprabhu is so serious about the offenses we commit. He can give Krishna Prem to even to worst of sinners, Jagai and Madhai, but not to offenders, and even not to even his own mother. Of course, this doesn't mean we first make the person we have committed offense against, we first make him unconscious and then take dust off his lotus feet. That's not the point. So the point is, we should be ready to ask forgiveness from anybody and everybody. That will only help us. That's all. And also the asking for forgiveness should not be just a formality. It should be sincere, coming from our heart. And actually, after asking for forgiveness, and if the person forgives us, or whether he doesn't forgive us, we should be ready to glorify him publicly. And that too, glorification should come from the bottom of our heart, not just lip service. So that is real asking for forgiveness. Shachi Devi did not hesitate in front of everybody to touch the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya and take dust from that lotus feet. She did not. She was not doing it as a formality. But we do it. We do it as a formality. So that's where the trick is. And moreover, who are we trying to deceive? The Lord himself, who is sitting as Paramatma in our heart, who knows everything, who is a witness of every thought that we have, forget about every action that we make. Cannot deceive him, cannot cheat him. And moreover, our goal is simple, and that to attain love for Krishna, to be eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. So why should we be shy of doing anything or everything to attain that goal? We shouldn't be. Eta kahi acharya tare kari ashvasa anandita hayya ela Mahaprabhu pasha. After pacifying Kamalakant Vishwas in this way, Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu went to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu ke kahen tomar na bujiye leela, ama haite prasad patra karila kamala. Shri Advaita Acharya told Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, I cannot understand your transcendental pastimes. You have shown more favor to Kamalakant than you generally show it to me. Why? I'm your, associate always, but you show more favor to Kamalakant. Amareha Prabhu Kabu ye nahaya prasad, tomara charane ami ki kaya aparadha. The favor you have shown Kamalakant is so great that even to me you have never shown such favor. What offense have I committed at your lotus feet so as not to be shown such favor? This is a reference to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's former punishment of Advaita Acharya. When Advaita Acharya Prabhu was reading Yoga Vaishishta, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu beat him, but he never told him not to come into his presence. But Kamalakant was punished with the order never to come into the Lord's presence. Therefore, Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu wanted to impress upon Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he had shown more favor to Kamalakant Vishwas because he had prohibited Kamalakant from seeing him, whereas he had not done so to Advaita Acharya. So the point, as I made yesterday, was Advaita Acharya thought he has accepted Kamalakant as his better servant than Advaita Acharya. Therefore, the favor shown Kamalakant Vishwas was greater than that shown Advaita Acharya. That's how Vaishnavas think, or devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu think this way. Eta shuni Mahaprabhu hasite lagila, bola ya Kamalakante prasanna haila. Hearing this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughed with satisfaction and immediately called Kamalakant Vishwas. Acharya kahi hake kene dile darshan, dui prakare te kare more vidamban. Advaita Acharya then said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why have you called back this man and allowed him to see you? He has cheated me in two ways. Shuniya Prabhurman prasanna haila, duhara antar katha, duhe se janila. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, his mind was satisfied. Only they could understand each other's minds. Prabhu kehe bauli aiche kahe kara acharya, acharyera lajja dharma hani se achara. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Kamalakant, you are a bauliya, one who does not know things as they are. Why do you act in this way? Why do you invade the privacy of Advaita Acharya and damage his religious principles? Kamalakant Vishwas, out of his ignorance, asked the king of Jagannath Puri, Maharaj Prataprutra, to liquidate the 300 rupee debt of Advaita Acharya. But at the same time, he established Advaita Acharya as an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is contradictory. An incarnation of the Supreme Godhead cannot be indebted to anyone in this material world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is never satisfied by such a contradiction, which is technically called rasabhas, or overlapping of one humor or rasa with another. So rasabhas means, one hand, as it says, Advaita Acharya is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and on the other hand, he is poor and he is indebted of only 300 rupees. That doesn't make sense. This is the same type of idea as a contradiction that Narayan is poverty-stricken. Poverty-stricken, Daridra Narayan. Pratigraha kabu na karibe rajdhana, vishaira anna khaile dushta hayama. Advaita Acharya, my spiritual master, should never accept charity from rich men or kings. Because if a spiritual master accepts money or grains from such materialists, his mind becomes polluted. So one got to be very careful. It is very risky to accept money or food from materialistic persons, for such acceptance pollutes the mind of the charity's recipient. According to the Vedic system, one should give charity to sannyasis and Brahmins, because one who thus gives charity becomes free from sinful activities. Because to make money, and to make money to a great deal, like king or big businessmen, and they do some illegal things. And that is why when they give charity, when we accept charity from big rich people like this, we also take part of their karma. We should be pure enough to burn that karma. Krishna is Supreme Personality. When he says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma shucha, he can do that. We cannot do that. We have to understand our limitations. In fact, there's a story that some sadhus were passing through a village, and it became dark, so normally they don't walk after sunset. So they went to a house. It was a big house. They went and knocked at the door, and a lady opened, and the sadhu said, "Can we take rest here tonight? Because we were going, and it just became dark." So the lady said, "Yes, why not? Please sleep over here." So at night, they prepared dinner for the sadhus. Sadhus had prasadam, dinner, and they slept. But at night, somehow, all of the sadhus, they had bad dreams at night, bad dreams of opposite sex. So then they got up in the morning, they were talking to each other, what happened? What happened? How come we got this dream? We never had such thing. So they said, let's ask that lady about her. What does she do and what's this house? So they asked the lady in the morning before leaving. They said, "Oh, Mataji, we have this curiosity. Who are you in this house?" The lady said, "I'm a prostitute. And this is a red light area or house." And then the sadhus understood. So not just the consciousness of the cook goes in the food, by how it is, what kind of money is involved in buying those ingredients. That is also involved. So we got to be very careful, and that is why very, very important to offer to the Lord whatever we cook before we eat. Do not eat without offering, because when the Lord has accepted, then he has removed all the sins also from that food. And it has become prasad. That's why it's called prasad, mercy. That's the mercy of the Lord. So similarly about accepting charity, of course, as householders, we're not supposed to take any money from anybody, not supposed to accept charity. But as Brahmins or sannyasis, they accept charity. But they have to be pure enough to burn any karma attached to that money. Formally, therefore, Brahmins would not accept charity from a person unless he was very pious. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this instruction for all spiritual masters. Materialistic persons who are not inclined to give up their sinful activities like illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating sometimes want to become our disciples. This is what Prabhupada is saying. But unlike professional spiritual masters who accept disciples regardless of their condition, Vaishnavas do not accept such cheap disciples. One must at least agree to abide by the rules and regulations for a disciple before a Vaishnava Acharya can accept. In fact, a Vaishnava should not even accept charity or food from persons who do not follow the rules and regulations of the Vaishnava principle. Heavy, heavy. First, not to accept disciples who are not ready to follow the rules and regulations. Now, sometimes in the name of preaching, or we are going to build temples so we can accept disciples with not so good background, or I'm ready to take their sins and this and that. This does not leave a good example. It doesn't set a good or leave a good image in the society. If Prabhupada is saying we should not accept such cheap disciples, that means it's an injunction for everybody to follow. And also not to accept charity or food from persons. Now we, as a matter for preaching, we say, oh, we have to preach, so we have to accept. Or sometimes we eat at places not supposed to, where we are supposed. So only thing is, yes, for preaching purposes, sometimes we have to, but then our sadhana, our bhajan should be very, very good. Otherwise, what's the point in preaching for a while and then going away? So our bhajan has to be very, very proper. So we can burn those karmic reactions. Of course, we are not going to burn it, it's only going to be burned by mercy of Krishna, but our bhajan should be very proper. Sadhana should be very proper. It's not easy. We say, oh, bhakti is very easy, but bhakti along with preaching and teaching others and helping others, it's not that easy. Mana dushta haile nahe Krishna rasmarana. Krishna spriti vinu hai nishvala jivan. When one's mind is polluted, it is very difficult to remember Krishna. And when remembrance of Lord Krishna is hampered, one's life is unproductive. A devotee should always be alert, keeping his mind in a sanguine state so that he can always remember Lord Krishna. The Shastras state, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu, Vismartavya Murjatachit. In devotional life, one should always remember Lord Krishna. Srila Shukdev Goswami also advised Maharaj Pariksha, Smartavya Nitya Shasha. In the second canto, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami has advised Parikshit Maharaj, O descendant of King Bharat, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Super Soul, the controller and the savior from all miseries. This is the summary of all the activities of a Vaishnava, and the same instruction is repeated here. Srila Rupa Goswami states in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Avyartha Kalatvam. A Vaishnava must be very alert not to waste even a second of his valuable lifetime. This is a symptom of a Vaishnava. But association with pounds, shillings, men, or Vishayis, materialists who are simply interested in sense gratification, pollutes one's mind and hampers such continuous remembrance of Lord Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised, Asatya Sangha Tyaga Ei Vaishnava Vachar. A Vaishnava should behave in such a way as to never associate with non-devotees or materialists. One can avoid such association simply by always remembering Krishna within his heart. So, but yes, for preaching purposes, we have to meet people. We have to give them our associations. One got to be very careful not to take their association, especially food and money. If we take that, then we're taking the reaction, karmic reaction, or their sins. It's got to be very, very careful. Loka lajja haya dharma kirti haya hani aiche karma na kariha kabudhiha jani. Thus, one becomes unpopular in the eyes of the people in general. First, this damages his religiosity and fame. A Vaishnava, especially one who acts as a spiritual master, must not act in such a way. One should always be conscious of this fact. But at the same time, if we see somebody is going through this kind of reactions, trying to help others, we should be very compassionate with that devotee and try to help him or her in every way possible. But that also pleases Krishna. It's not that, oh, this is his karmic reaction he's going through, why we have to bother about it. No. Everybody is going through karmic cycle. So we should be compassionate. We should have this compassion and help that devotee as much as we can in getting back to his sadhana, to his bhakti, to his bhajan. That will be real Vaishnava service or mood or etiquette. Not that we start advertising or spreading it on Facebook and WhatsApp or other media. No. So to make progress, it's not that easy. Make progress in bhakti. So got to be careful. Okay, I guess we can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble wisdom. Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
actually, this we read no in the last that whatever it happens that we lose his taste for chanting Krishna's name if we associate or we take foods. So, like if we are at home and if we are cooking on our own, and if we have kept a maid for our cooking, suppose for at least chapati making. So, how to handle that in means how I cannot purify her consciousness even if I means I keep some chanter there and all. But how to handle that, Prabhuji? Because it's not always like what others are doing is impacting. It's our mind which is actually helping us, disturbing us a lot.
There are two things. One thing is for the maid, you're giving her some money, payment.
Yes.
So that karmic cycle is complete over there. It's nullified. And then secondly, you are offering that bhoga to the Lord first before eating.
Yes.
So then it is taken care.
So, and if we go somewhere and people means like they want us to eat something or like that. So even we know that they are doing the chanting and proper, they are doing chanting and they are trying to be in path. So how we can say no to them? No, it's like.
So then if we know they have not offered, then we offer to the Lord in our mind.
Oh yeah. Okay, that will be good. Okay.
Yeah. He accepts it, even done in our mind. Without
Okay.
in our mind, we can put tulsi leaves on all the preparations and offer it to the Lord.
Okay. Very cool. Thank you, Prabhuji. It helps actually.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Chalo. So we'll stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna.